Dear friends, colleagues, and fellow citizens of India, in last 90 days, COVID has taken a lot from us. Now, it is time to give back in a way that it is effective, safe, and available. It is time to do a few things which we might not have done yet because what has been done appears being not enough. Positive has been never seen so negative in the history of human evolution. The secret of managing a crisis is not being good about good versus bad. Rather, it is about preventing the bad becoming worse. The mythical Raktaveej like Corona leaves many lives put off the breath but leaves more breathing demons in form of asymptomatic super spreaders. As COVID-19 continues to evolve like the Mayavi beast and the world searches for containment tools like social measures, hygiene, traditional modalities, and untiring search for equitable rebuttal, the inner human spirit and strength needs constant elevation and upgradation. While COVID-19 threatens from outside, the focus should shift to build the strength inside, and that is none other than human immunity. Let us try to do a critical appraisal of some of the available and emergent interventions explored, suggested, implemented, and evaluated. One such intervention was universal adoption of HCQs or hydroxychloroquines, a therapeutic and preventive option against COVID-19. Index journals have reported and WHO has supported. Using HCQs may be an option too little and too late. In fact, HCQs therapy has fallen flat on its face. It is saving hardly but killing hard. In fact, what is more dangerous is politicians trying to play the role of clinicians and hitting the human heart by dampening God-given inner strength called immunity. Doctors around the world and in India need to caution the naive people and learned peers about silent danger of HCQs. Having seen the limitations of conventional antiviral combination like ritonavir plus lopinavir, the world was stargazing Gilead's Ebola drug remdesivir. The results looked promising on interim assessment, but given the cost and consequence may not justify on wide application across a large population like India. Having realized that something or anything from outside exhibits inherent limitations in containing the spread and controlling the menace of COVID-19, many wise clinicians decided to shift the focus inside, and that is human inherent immunity. The investigators from famous Irish longitudinal study on aging, TILDA, did a retrospective study highlighting the crude correlation between vitamin D and immunogenic inherent modulator to deaths due to coronavirus. Across Europe, the findings were so compelling that governments of European leagues started considering vitamin D supplementation as a policy measure towards control and containment of COVID-19 in general population, especially the aging and those at risk. This has been covered extensively by the international press. In the pre-antibiotic era, sun used to be the source of strength, solace, and support for healthy living. As we move away from the sun, threats like coronavirus come closer to us. Time has come for an idea which is as old as the sun and as new as the promise of life in this moment of crisis. Let us go to the super D to build immunity and shield immunity. The glitter of dollar and pound has never been so dim. The world may need to use a new currency that decides life, death, and suffering, and that is vitamin D. The most recent data objectively correlates the vitality of vitamin D to virulence of Covid-19. Come again. Dollar doesn't make us rich, but high levels of vitamin D does. Time has some other story. The superpowers in Europe and America might get dethroned by their Asian peers. So, the real power is D power, or call it the power. Post-Covid, the definition of rich and poor may change because building immunity is the new wealth and vitamin D levels are the new currency and marker of wealth of health. Covid-19, the diagram over here exhibits the pathophysiology of Covid-19 versus the pharmacology of high levels of vitamin D. Covid-19, like any other virus, uses the receptor on cell membrane like HSPG, that is heparan sulfate proteoglycans, and AC2 or the angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptor in order to dock itself, adhere and induce endocytosis through ACE2 receptors found abundantly in respiratory epithelial linings. High levels of vitamin D, favorably above 60 nanogram per ml, prevent docking, adherence, and cell entry of Covid-19 by down-regulation of RAS, that is renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, and other cellular processes. Expression of AMPs, that's the antimicrobial proteins, specifically cathelicidin, by-toll-like receptors, provide a barrier to adhesion and attachment of Covid-19 to the cells in the respiratory tract, nose to alveoli. Most critical aspect of the inverse correlation between vitamin D levels and severity and death inflicted by Covid-19 is farmers' ability to prevent hijacking of the internal cellular systems. In fact, net, in the fight between human and Covid-19, vitamin D levels appear to be the decider. Corona hardly kills, but it induces self-killing of cells through cytokine storm, where it creates situations like happy hypoxia and disseminated coagulopathies in patients who can't sense their healthy oxygen levels. High levels of vitamin D, 50 to 60 nanogram per ml, preferably 80 nanogram per ml, tames the cytokine storms through desirable immunomodulation and restoring inflammatory homeostasis. Corona makes patients critical. Many strong evidences emerging in the past could not materialize. Time is ripe. Situation is strife. Let us give a firm trial to the idea of D. The question is not about the D or not D. It is about the danger. Corona versus savior. Vitamin D. GDP comes later. DGP, vitamin D growth in population, comes first. There is a general apprehension about toxicity associated with higher and acute doses of vitamin D, but citations, passages, and references from textbook journals and classical meta-analysis suggest the fear of toxicity with vitamin D is far more theoretical than real. In fact, statements and facts quoted from textbooks unequivocally advocate that high dose of vitamin D might help but not harm. Time has come for D idea to be deployed against deadly COVID-19. When it comes to raising the levels of vitamin D in global population, which is already under a pre-existing pandemic, the proposed formula may help raise vitamin D levels fast enough. As the contagion of corona is moving at the speed of light, the intervention has to move at the speed of thought. Varying formulations in different countries could be a practical challenge in waging a war against corona with limited options. Achieving high levels of vitamin D need adoption and extra rapid correction. Classic commentary gives a discouraging account of efforts towards rapid correction with age-old conventional formulations. In fact, reference from the classical book of pharmacology as mentioned above is a testament to the fact. Fortunately, adoption of new technology has made it possible to enrich people with high levels of vitamin D, in turn desirable immunity and ability to show balanced inflammatory responses. With new age formulations, patients can be brought from BDL, that is even a below deficiency levels, to affluence as far as vitamin D levels are concerned. The common saying goes, taste of pudding lies in the eating. A patented formulation developed by an Indian company promises and delivers superior pharmacological and clinical outcome compared to run-of-the-mill vitamin D formulations like tablets, capsules, sachets and granules. Corona is cruel. Corona is contagious. Corona is a killer. We should bet on only the best. The above diagram summarizes the limitations of conventional formulations as mentioned in the previous slide. Both clinicians and patients lose something which is far more precious than money, and that is time. Corona does not give time. Can we afford? This is a unique formulation based on patented aqueous nanotechnology that defies the complex lipid digestion process and delivers measurable rise in vitamin D levels predictably, rapidly, and dependably. It's time to be vocal about the local. It is interesting to know that global companies are in-licensing products from an Indian company. Corona is global and the solution is local. Let us try this idea and create some new experience and wisdom in this war between humanity and Corona. Dexel. Only Dexel can achieve rapid normalization of 25 OH levels because of greater and predictable bioavailability, superior technology, superior pharmacokinetics, and superior clinical outcome. Choose Dexel over tablets, capsules, and granules. In fact, clinical evidence generated from clinical trials conducted in reputed institutes have revealed that Dexel administered for 10 consecutive days in an indication known as mechanical low back pain produced significant functional improvement and effective relief of pain. In fact, Dexel was seen to produce one of the highest rises in serum vitamin D levels, approximately to the tune of 8 to 9 nanograms per ml per dose that was administered, and that was far superior than the comparators or the conventional formulations. This refers to the patent certificate that has been granted for the research technology from Pulse. Dexel, a product of aqueous nanotechnology, promise of predictable rise and one of the highest rises in serum vitamin D levels and corresponding clinical outcomes. Thank you.